bread, cereal, spaghetti, cookies, crackers, chewing gum, donuts, pizza, pasta, malts, ice cream cones, cake, licorice, some beers, and ale. Okay, what do all of these products have in common? The answer? Wheat. In some way, shape, or form, they contain wheat. The most common use of wheat is, of course, bread. But how does the wheat become the bread? Well, let's take a journey to find out. Bread, from the seed to the store. It all begins with the American farmer. You see, thousands of these men and women live in rural America and farm these fields. In fact, there are about 2.2 million farms in America, of which 97% are run by families. They plant millions of acres of wheat. An acre, by the way, is about the size of a football field. In about 3 or 4 months, with a little rain and sunshine, the wheat fields turn golden brown. The wheat plant consists of several parts: the roots that are underground, the stem, the leaves, and the head, which is comprised of many kernels. The kernel has the nutrients that make wheat so important to our diet. Wheat is an excellent source of complex carbohydrates, protein, and fiber. Now it's time for harvest, which begins with the combine. This amazing piece of equipment harvests or collects the kernels of wheat. As the combine drives through the field, it cuts off the wheat plant and separates the kernels from the plant. The kernels of wheat are collected in the hopper, while the rest of the plant is spread back onto the field and becomes fertilizer for next year. Riding high above the crops, the farmer in his combine can harvest hundreds of acres in a single day, and he does it non-stop. These are amazing and sophisticated machines, and they don't come cheap. The purchase price of one new combine is equal to the cost of about 10 new pickup trucks. As the combine's hopper nears maximum capacity, a tractor with a grain cart in tow pulls up beside the combine. The wheat is then transferred from the combine to the wagon with the grain auger. The combine never has to stop. It can run from sunup to sundown, and if it has lights, it can run well into the night. Once the grain wagon is full, the wheat is then loaded into a semi-trailer. When the trailer is full, the farmer delivers it to the local grain elevator. The wheat is unloaded at the elevator. The weight is recorded for payment purposes, and the truck driver goes back to the field for another load. Stored in the grain elevator, the wheat is now ready for distribution throughout the country and the world. Some of this wheat will be shipped by rail car throughout the country, and some of it will be loaded onto barges at nearby rivers for shipment abroad. About half of the wheat grown in the U.S. is sent to other countries. A great portion of this wheat will be shipped domestically to one of a number of large processing plants called mills, where the wheat is turned into flour. These mills take wheat through a rather complex process. It goes through separators, an aspirator, destoner, scourer, conditioner, grinder, sifter, purifier. Well, you get the idea. The end product is flour. There are different grades of flour. The quality is contingent upon the type of wheat delivered to the mill and the degree of processing at the mill. Commercial bakeries like this one will go through thousands of pounds of flour in a day. The baking process begins with several hundred pounds of dough being mixed for about 15 minutes. From here, it goes to the extrusion divider that weighs the dough by volume. Next, the molder rolls the dough. Rolling the dough makes it much easier to work with. Eventually, the dough lands in a bread pan. These bread pans are then rolled into a proof box. This proof box is an environment that is heat and humidity friendly to yeast, an ingredient in the bread. After about an hour, they are removed and sent to the ovens. Sometimes, if the order calls for it, toppings are added along the way. The bread will stay in the ovens anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes at a temperature of 350 degrees. When the loaves come out, they travel to an overhead cooler where they set for about an hour. Then they move down the conveyor system to the slicer and the wrapper. This commercial bakery will produce 80 loaves of bread per minute. Eventually, the loaves of bread are moved into the distribution center, where they will be loaded into semi-trucks for delivery to grocery stores, convenience stores, and other bread outlets. Smaller commercial bakeries like this one, located within a grocery store, follow a similar baking process as the large bakeries. They will purchase wheat flour from a broker, usually in 50-pound bags. They mix the flour with a number of ingredients, mix the dough with water, shape the dough to specific sizes, and place it in bread pans. When the time is right, the dough goes into the oven. Bakeries of this size are more diverse with their product offerings. They can bake buns, specialty breads, rolls, bagels, cakes, and donuts. Well, there you have it. A quick look at how wheat becomes bread. Bread from the seed to the store.